Well, that's right.
Absolutely.
My apologies for the late start. We'll call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on our agenda is the roll call. Crandall.
Here.
Greenway. Here. Schill.
Here.
Farda. Here. We do have a quorum, so we will move on to item number 2, the approval of our agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda before us.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Greenway? Yes.
Crandall.
Yes.
Schill.
Yes.
Farda. Yes. Item number 3 is the approval of our minutes.
I move we approve minutes of the September, you're right. No, the August 12th, 2024 meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Crandall?
Aye.
Greenway.
Yes.
Schill.
Yes.
Farda. Yes. Item number 4, time is now for a conflicts disclosure, either direct or indirect. Hearing none, we move on to item number 5, our public comment. Did we have anybody signed up for public comment? No. Okay. We'll move on to item number 6, our consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda before us.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Greenway? Yes.
Schill.
Yes.
Crandall.
Yes.
Farda. Yes. Okay, our next item is our good news and student achievement. Dr. Olson will present first.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I just wanted to tell you how middle school has been starting, which has been really positive. The kids have been great, so we're going to celebrate them. And I invite you every year to this, and not one of you has come yet, but to the YMS dance, which is Friday, October 11th, from 7 to 9. So you are welcome to come anytime. So we'll have a lot of fun with that. And our Veterans Day program is November 8th because of the way the schedule is or the calendar is. So it's November 8th this year at 9 a.m. And then I do have a little story for you. So this year our theme is Be the Difference. And so the kids all know that, the teachers know that. And I don't know if you're familiar, but we post it every week, our special someones from the students that do something great. And usually the teachers nominate them. Well, I had a student last week come into the office, and she was injured, and it was hard for her to walk. And she goes, "Hey, Dr. Olson." I said, "Oh, yeah, what do you need, hon?" And she said, "Can I give another student a special someone?" And I go, "Yeah. What do well, how come? What did this other student do for you?" She said, "Every day, this student gets up and helps her with her lunch because she can't get her lunch very easily." And she said, "We're not really friends, they're just acquaintances." And she goes, "I really want to thank her. So I wanted to give her a special someone." I said, "Absolutely." So anyway, it was a feel good, it was Be the Difference. So I thought that was really great that our students are actually finding the difference in each other. So anyway, that's all I have.
Mr. Bessie?
Well, I don't know that I have something that's enticing to invite you to as a middle school dance. However, I will extend an invite to the Lincoln School Carnival 2 weeks from tonight from 5 to 6:30, and hopefully, weather permitting, it'll be on the east side of our building outside there. Last year, we had a little bit of lightning and things like that. We had to move inside, so we're hoping to avoid that this year. But Lincoln Pals, again, that's parents active with Lincoln School. Does a fantastic job in helping students and staff throughout the year, but this is one of the big events that they do as far as a kickoff and welcoming new families, returning families to the school year. We'll have games to play, inflatables, food, most importantly fun, but it's always a really good event, usually pretty well attended, and lots of excited kids. We have some mainstay games like no Plinko game, things like that, but also Pals has worked to incorporate some new activities as well. But lots of smiles, maybe a little sugar given out, but all in all, it's a great event, and you are welcome to attend. And again, that's Monday, September 23rd from 5 to 6:30 at Lincoln.
comment I want to make while Mr. Vessey's up there. So this afternoon, we had a secure situation at his school, at Lincoln Elementary School. Everything went fine. Police did a great job of informing us of what was happening in the neighborhood, and he sent a great message out to parents, but I just want to thank you. You did a really nice job today when I was over there.
You're welcome, and credit goes to YPD. They gave us a notice and gave us advance to prepare and get things ready, and our students and staff just did a fantastic job, and just happy that we're able to do that. But it wasn't a long time that we were in that, but definitely was efficient and got what we needed to accomplish, so appreciate that.
Thank you. Exciting things going on. Okay, item number 8 is about Kirby Hofer Development. He will begin with a presentation.
Actually, as a disclaimer, I have never been in this situation before. I was raised in Montana and I got along with our superintendent really well, Dr. Chidolicek. He was in Chester, Montana for many years. After I left, he left, and I graduated. But, and I got along with him as well as that guy right there. Very, very wonderful. And I appreciate all the things you guys are doing in that school, and I appreciate you just taking into consideration for a zoning change. I've never done this before. We've built here for years and years and years and never had to go through it. All of a sudden there's something changes. We got to do that. And so I think you all up in the front of you have that in your hand, and it's basically saying we'd like to be able to put something besides some houses in that little spot up by the school, but between those. One of them would be a daycare. Actually, 3 individuals want to go together and have 3 different buildings there. So one would be a daycare, one would be a dance, kind of a dance place for kids after school, that kind of thing. And the other would be, we're looking for a drive-through coffee shop, just a little, because there's so much traffic on that road up there, but it's just something to do. I mean, there's just something people have been wanting, and this person says, hey, I want to invest with these other 2. So we're just asking you to consider that. And then I guess with the city commission, apparently, Dr. Kittle, does it go to the city then for the final?
Yeah, I spoke to Dave Mingo, and this is just the starting of this process, as I understand it.
Yes.
There are quite a few steps to it.
Yeah.
To get it rezoned. And this was just a starting point, since we're one of the neighbors, that you could come and visit with the school board about what you're proposing. And yes, it's just one of the many steps, is my understanding.
The kind of way I thought that it was going was everybody would seem like they were on board, but there was back off, let's make sure we got all of it. Because it's new to school needs to be aware that that's happening. So there's some good and bad, there's good and bad probably to almost everything. There's some good things that can come from it, and we think it'd be nice. But people say, why would that development up there work out? Because you're going so close to the airport. And I said, we just let that development just keep going, and everybody just kept buying, and then pretty soon it's all the way up at the top. And people want to buy that top piece, and the school bought the other part, and Andy Holtz bought 4 lots, and so that's just pretty much all gone. And so people, now I got a call the other day, and he said he wants to right beside the school for his house on the corner lot, or the next one down from that. And there's another person 2 lots down from that, she said, but because we haven't got it platted yet, so they can't actually buy it. We have to get the street in and all that stuff. So it's an active place, so we're happy with where it's going, and everything's going there. But we have to go to the rezoning of it because of the school with traffic, kids, all this. And the question may come up, I mean, if you didn't ask the question, I'll just ask the question for you, is the weakness on this whole thing, the drive-through, is that the weakness? And if this is the weakest, we really thought this through for a long time, because people originally were asking the question, why would somebody want to live in that area? Because it's by the airport, there's helicopters, there's noises and all this stuff. And I said, hey, that's fun for older people, because they get to hear stuff that's going on, and it's close to Walmart, it's right there. And so people kept buying them. Well, we think that because it's that type of school that you guys have actually allowed to be out there, that is going to be probably one of the safest schools in town. Because there probably will be a police presence in there more than not, because there's a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit there all the time. And that has to be enforced. I mean, there are a lot of other schools that are right along a busier road like that. So we're thinking that this drive-through would go fine, because more eyes up there, the better it is. The more people are family-oriented, the better it is. And so if there's a policeman at the corner and there's somebody speeding, I mean, it's going to be watched. That school's going to be watched really good, because those kids, not to say they ever cross over to the north, but they're going to be down in there where it's right next door to, so I'm just presenting that way. There is a way that I think it can happen. It's not a quick shop. A quick shop lets rabble kind of come in. It's noise, loud cars, a lot of, in and out real quick, backing up, a lot of backing up. This is more just driving through type thing, but just presenting it.
Have you done, has there done, I hear what you're saying, because I do think that is the one thing that's a concern, is the drive-through aspect of that third business. And you just don't want to get in a situation that happens on Broadway every day as far as backing up, considerable backup, for some of those drive-through. So have they done any traffic studies or anything about how that would go, or how we could ease that?
They come off of as you're coming up the hill, there's two entrances, and to the left, I think it's Glenwood, take it right to Glenwood, and then cut it off at the corner. So it'd be basically in and out from the corner lot. So it'd be like this, this lot like this. You come up, turn, then you cut in like this. So your left side, or your driver's side, would be against the window of the place, of the establishment. And you drive out, you can go back down Wedgewood, you can go down Ruth, or you can just do a U-turn, come back out, and then go back into Yankton if you want to that way. Now, let's say if there are people coming in from, let's say, Gayville, it's one of the first ones that they could come to, and they could kind of get the coffee, whatever. If you come up that road, and it's really surprising, that road has a lot of traffic on it. Has anybody ever looked at the amount of traffic that's on that road around the airport? I mean, there's a lot of people going by. As they come into town, they could take a left to Glenwood, or drop their kids off, or what they do, but then turn, come around, and go right back down to Walmart. So it wouldn't be like they're gonna go back out to Gayville in the morning traffic, if it's like, let's say it's a coffee shop that has just coffee, whatever. But it would be, all that traffic would, in a sense, just keep on going. But the people that are at the school with the kids, here's Glenwood, here's school as it runs through. This is the primary one where the kids would come off of Highland, and the parents come off of Highland, they turn in, go into the school, do a U-turn, come back out. Now that's determination, where are they gonna go? Are they gonna go back out the same way they came in? Or are they gonna come out to another exit to get to, and hopefully, let's say there was a traffic jam up there, let's say there was 5 cars in a line, then they'll learn where's the best route. So if it take a long time, they go down Wedgewood, they go down Ruth, there's a lot of outlets on that. But I think the more eyes, the better with a slow down school zone. And if I think personally, I think there's gonna be a policeman there almost every day for a while, because the last thing on your mind would be ever have some kid hurt up there on the first day or the first year. Because I appreciate you guys' safety concerns, but I also think too, the more eyes and the better, and you can call somebody in and hey, this parent is in a hurry and they've been doing this and whatever. I mean, it's like whatever.
So Kirby, the school board, they all have a map. Can you go to your map in your packet? And then, can you do this for us real quick? It's got the rezone area from an R2 to B1. Can you just walk us through direction-wise where that coffee shop would be located within that?
Let's see, if I got a big enough.
Because we all have a map in front of us.
I do have that.
Yep. So can you tell us where that would be located in that area? Would be to the southwest, to the
Here's the
south?
school here, here's the school right here. If you wanna see it too.
Yeah, the board would want to see it, yeah.
This school here. Right. This is where primarily would be the quickest way to get to that cul-de-sac in the school zone, in the school property. That would be the quickest way, it'd be Highland right there.
But would the coffee shop be
Right
located?
off this corner, right here.
Coffee shop would be on Glenwood then?
Excuse me.
The coffee shop would be on Glenwood?
Yeah, be Glenwood on the corner of it.
So it'd be the far west,
Yeah,
Part of that.
southwest corner, yeah.
okay,
So
southwest
as you
corner.
drive through there, you'll pan just a second, I'll just draw a little line here. I should have let you. That's kind of like a finger. That little corner.
So are you saying that you're coming off of Glenwood and then you're gonna come into the parking area or where the coffee shop is? Or Glenwood is gonna be the access right into the coffee shop?
Yeah, you turn, you go up 31st,
Yep.
take a right. You'll go
Right.
half a block and there'll be.
Okay, you take a right on Glenwood.
Your left.
Yes.
There'll be kind of a carport thing,
Yeah.
right around. Excuse me, Trey?
You take a right on Glenwood.
Right.
You take a right on Glenwood.
Yes.
Heading south.
Heading south.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the exit would be the same way? Would you go in and out both on Glenwood, or would you go out?
I think they probably go left onto the property of the coffee shop.
Okay.
And then there'll be kind of a turn like this, and then you get back onto Wedgewood. So you're kind of hitting off the corner, it's kind of like going off of, does anybody have a recall where an intersection like that is?
Obviously,
You could probably have three people parked off the street and not block traffic in the coffee area.
As long as you're going toward the east.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if you're going toward the west and you're waiting for the cars to clear, you stop in the middle of the street, basically. Correct? You're heading west, you're going on 31st Street West, and
Yeah.
you want to go to the coffee shop. But there's a line of cars
Okay,
planning to go.
31st Street going west or east?
Your car is heading west on 31st Street.
Okay.
And you want to turn left on the Glenwood
For coffee?
for coffee. But there's already cars lined up going east, they parked around a little bit, and like scooters does.
Yeah.
And so you've got these cars going west. And because in the city says right now that street's not busy enough to warrant turning lane. We were at a meeting, and that's what the city said. They said, it's not busy enough for turning lane, so we would not have a turning lane here. So basically, any car heading west wanting to go into this coffee shop and is waiting for traffic to go in the coffee shop, would be blocking traffic down the road.
Oh, okay, yeah, behind you.
Behind you, yeah. I'm sitting there waiting for my coffee, and all these guys are heading east are pulling in, and not giving me any credit, they're not letting me go in, not taking turns like they should, or whatever. But still, you be stopped there, you're waiting for traffic to clear. And to me, that's a problem with this idea. And by the way, Kirby, you know me long enough, I'm all for development. And also I want to thank you so much for your cooperation with the school property too, because you did a fabulous job with that. But I would like to talk to the city at least, because I think you gotta have a come to Jesus about turning lanes on 31st Street.
Would the turning lane be more profitable on Highland? Because if that's where parents are coming in from that direction, like you're just saying, they're coming out and they want to take a left onto Highland, don't have the same problem.
Well, yeah, you'd have a turning lane all the way down 31st Street, not just in one spot. It'd be the entire 31st Street.
So you're saying that maybe they didn't need a turning lane, the guy didn't think he needed it, Glenwood?
He didn't think he needed one, period, on 31st.
Who's that? Was that DOT?
Dave.
Dave.
Yeah.
Huh.
So my other thought would be is you could come from either Glenwood Drive or Highland Drive, so now you get within that rezoned area, so you get two entrances in for everybody to try to get to the coffee shop that's in the back west corner of it. Right, because Highland is gonna come in, is Highland not gonna be able to go to the backside to get over to that as well? Or, and am I understanding Wedgewood Drive goes from clear down here in the bottom left corner and loops all the way back up here? So it comes here and it loops all the way back up there, so does Highland and Wedgewood come together in the back there?
Yeah, they come together, and then there's Ruth ties it right here, there's another street right down here.
Oh, Ruth is in here too?
Yeah.
So Wedgewood comes all the way around, Highland comes into Wedgewood, and then Glenwood Drive comes into Wedgewood Drive.
And this is kind of a stopping point where somebody coming up Ruth from the south is gonna hit an intersection, you have to take a left or a right. So that would be right there, kids, parents, whatever buses are good, all coming from the south, hit that corner, take a right, and get back on 31st, that particular diagram is not complete because the route isn't drawn in.
Okay.
But routes will hit right at the halfway point between Glenwood and Highland, hit like a T, so we have to stop.
So then we'd actually have 4 feeding routes that would try to all get to the coffee shop on that corner.
Well, I don't think the people coming up on Ruth would wanna go that way because they're gonna be backwards. They'll be coming up and there'll be no left side open to a copy, unless they went in. And they'll come up, the only way they're gonna get there is they're gonna have to go around Glenwood, come in from the north and hit that same route with that 45-degree angle coming off that corner. Because if you come up even Wedgewood come up, you're still in the wrong spot. You gotta get out to 31st really to get into there.
So you don't foresee there's gonna be backup on 31st Street from going to that drive-through? You don't foresee that to be backed up at all?
Well, I don't think on Glenwood would be too bad because I don't think parents are necessarily gonna be taking that one as much unless it's quicker. But if you're coming from Yankton, from the west, you're going east, you're gonna take the easiest route, which would be Glenwood. Because it's right in, but they'll learn that they could take Highland. The natural route would be, I would say one other choice, but I think parents coming from the west would hit the first intersection, you'll take a right. If they don't want to copy, they just keep on going and take a left and drive right into the parking lot. If they sense that there's traffic there, they might go farther for a couple days and check it out. Go to Highland, the next one, take a right. They'll come down, they'll have to slow down because there's a crossing point there. People coming from Wedgewood would come right on through and go into the parking. So the parents will probably find the best possible way to do that. And that would be, and we were talking this through, that people going by that dance hall, dance theater, exercise area, and the daycare or the property thing, they would say, I'm so glad this is here. Because I drive by that every day, and it's like right there. And these investors would take it, and they're actually some really nice people. Dr. Kingle knows them, I don't know, I won't give their names out here yet, as you talk to him, but they really were liking that because it was so visible to helping people from the dance and also daycare, because daycare would be a good thing for parents if the parents got stalled at school or wherever they're at, they could just go right there. It's going to help out a lot, and they kind of tied it together with 3 people wanted to get this intersection, this whole thing done, to make it really work good for 3 different buildings.
I'm just concerned about the timing of it, you know, probably the best business of the coffee shop is gonna be exactly the time that every parent's gonna be bringing their child there. And I get it from a business perspective, are you kidding? You've got all these people going right by.
Yeah.
But I remain concerned just about the traffic flow and wanting to know a little bit more about that, but that's my concern. On 30, I'm thinking 31st is the biggest issue to me as I look at it.
What's our role here tonight?
Does the traffic flow need to slow down, or do we want to make it fast? Do we want to make it keep going faster so drop off kids faster? Or in other words, does a coffee shop cause people to slow down so the intersection at 30 becomes 30, not a 45? And that's where Adam Huberman once upon a time said, hey, let's go down to 30. Because him and I were talking, and he says, well, if we're going to do this, he says, we want to make good and well and sure that everybody is on a slow zone. It's like, hey, it's going to take a while to get there. Don't worry about it. We're going to get there. And so that's the impression. Adam was even contested about that because he said, hey, 35, you got to go at least 35 around there. But now we're trying to hold it back. And now everybody's trying to speed it up. We don't want that. We want it to slow down. And that's where the coffee shop came in handy too. A drop-off kid for kids and picking them up and all this stuff, you know. And if there's a person's got to wait for 15 seconds to go through the intersection once in a while, I think people out there are going to say, Adam's right. And also, maybe need a turning lane. I mean, these people aren't going to do this development for 2 years at least.
No, my concern would be that they would be so successful, they would have a line out on 31st Street at the same time all the parents are trying to come to drop off their kids. Yeah, and they're gonna be stalled.
Yeah.
Waiting for these people to get their kid, to get coffee as opposed to them being able to drop off their kids. That's my concern. And so to be able to mitigate that or have a little bit more information, I mean, obviously it's.
Well, we can design with that individual, because as nice of a place as it's gonna be, we could put 15 cars, I bet you, off the street into that longer lane. Let's see, even if it's a double lane. I mean, we got like a Chick-fil-A going here, you know, just double lane and going in, and like, look, Burger King has a double for a while.
Yeah.
So you could stack the cars there, and in the design, let's say you would say, hey, we'll sign it if this could go into it. Maybe that would be something that they could, let's say the engineers could put that together, and once you get past 15 cars, I don't think anybody's gonna wait 15 cars to go get coffee. We're gonna be going to work by that time and say, hey, let's get out of here.
Yeah, and I'm just worried that they're not gonna get the coffee, they're just gonna give those parents, you know what I'm saying, the parents who waiting to deliver their preschooler will be stalled, waiting for people getting coffee. I mean, just personally, I just like to know, I agree with what you're saying in the design, isn't it? we need further information
Yeah.
about that design.
I personally think we could get enough cars, because it's a big lot, it's a big corner lot, and it's a big area front to back, because it's deeper than most lots, it's 165 feet versus 135 that we have up in the whole development. Todd had 135, and this could be, let's say, longer, by another 30 foot. If we double stack cars, they're gonna have 12 cars, so it's 2 cars after that one, and you might have to have somebody out there handing stuff to them, I don't think it's gonna be that big. But
So-
it's a nice spot.
So the ask tonight is, Kirby is asking the board if they would consider signing the petition, because you're one of the landowners that he's seeking a signature from to move this forward to the next step, is my understanding. So the recommended action you can see in front of you is to consider the approval of the support for potential zoning changes. However, it can't contain a future preschool, no alcoholic establishment or the sale of alcohol,
Yep.
and no drive-through businesses because of the concern of backing traffic up.
Mhm.
So that's what's in front of the board tonight. And maybe you don't have enough information from Kirby
Well,
to
see, what kind of
move
changed,
forward.
what kind of changed on it was that originally we had these 3 people and we talked about it and they were all 3 together and they were talking coffee shop, everybody's all, hey, let's get a sign. Well, all of a sudden, it's like Dr. Kimball said, hey, we need to get rid of the board here because we gotta make sure everything's on the table, let's do it that way. So the terms got changes a little bit, the specifications of what actually could go in there, but it's kind of this B1 that could fit into that lineup. But the city commission, they talked to Mingo today again, he says, Kirby, you do know that it'll have to be approved by us too. So we have to go through that one. So let's just say you guys said, we'll sign it. Okay, let's just say you say sign it. The city commission could watch on it anyway. But because you guys are already up there, you have kind of, in a sense, their ability to shut her down right now. I would just, I think you have 1 vote and we've got the other votes already on there. I'm on there and then we got the neighbors and the other guys' neighbors, whatever. But because of the safety thing and the whole, you guys are responsible for the community and I'm just responsible for these 3 people. It's not like the end of the world. I mean, it's for us, it's not the end of the world. God's been faithful all the time. We built houses for so many years and it's always worked out.
Mm-hmm. Is this an all or nothing deal as far as having the 3 particular businesses that you're talking about?
Do I have what?
Is it an all or nothing? Like those are the 3 those are the 3 businesses and that's the only 3 businesses?
My hearing aid is so.
Sorry, is it an all or nothing for you? That it has to be the 3 particular businesses that you're talking about right now?
That's a good question. For these 3 people, they're together in a sense because they're all friends. Okay, if I just called them up after we left this meeting and said, hey, got a shot down. Not to say it would happen, but it's a very good chance that they die off. Then we'd have to go back to homes again, which it maybe you'd like homes in there, but we could probably sell them, but if it's, the way it is.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
Appreciate you guys thinking though.
Yeah.
Well, I just have one other comment. To me, there's a difference when we're talking coffee shop. Like, there's a difference between drive-in coffee shop or drive in and park and go in and have coffee. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
My interpretation of coffee shop was the latter, that it would be a place to go, sit, pull into the parking lot, but not a drive-through.
And that's very real possibility they may bite into that.
Yeah.
Because we went to California a couple months ago, they had overhead doors where they put the overhead, it was all glass. And inside was a coffee shop, and it was in California, it rolled up 6 foot, people walked underneath it, you could see out there was bar stools in there, everybody's eating coffee. When it got windy, they just started driving down, probably, it was all wide open. just glass. It's cube. So it's a very real possibility. I mean, we could flip going on and be fine either way. We're just trusting you guys now at this point because I'm not a hard-nosed type person. You know, it's not like, hey, I'm mad. I'm not that way. And I like it to discuss it because everybody in this room could be a referral to me and say, hey, it went good and you guys are doing the right thing and that's the place to live. That's all we're looking for.
Okay. No, we appreciate you coming and explaining it. It is a difficult understanding, kind of some of the dynamics, so. Okay. It is an action item as we stand before us, so I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the zoning changes with the covenants listed by Dr. Kimball. Contingent on those covenants.
Could you repeat that motion?
So the contingent on the covenants listed by Dr. Kimball, including prohibiting future sale of alcohol, drive-through businesses, and future preschools. I would approve the zoning changes.
Is there a second?
I'll give it the second for discussion.
Okay, so we have a motion and a discussion, or we have a motion and a second. Now is the time for discussion.
I would need more information before I went ahead with this. I just don't feel comfortable. And my heart wants to get through whatever he wants, you know. But my head also wants to do what's right for the school and for the traffic patterns and all of that. And the B2 or the B1 zoning says, you know, without any kind of significant impact on the neighborhood. And that's the whole premise of B1 zoning. And so I want to make sure there's not a negative impact on the neighborhood. And Kirby, you probably feel exactly the same way. So I don't want to speak for you, but so I'm not going to. I would abstain on this vote if there was a vote. So that's all I can say.
Just to clarify, you basically set the one drive-through off to the side, right?
Correct. Drive-through businesses.
Okay, so for discussion later or for another motion later, we could go through a drive-in.
What the motion, as I understand it, is the recommended action that would not allow a drive-through.
Right.
Or preschool or alcohol.
Correct.
Yeah, right.
Those three.
That's where, that's where we're at.
So then we're not voting away from a drive-in necessarily.
No,
Correct.
I think that would be something
Separate.
that we would consider, yes.
Yeah, separate thing, yeah. So that at least two people could, if they say, hey, we want this, they could buy it too, if this works. And then the coffee shop would have to adapt to a maybe whatever that would be.
Correct.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
so-
just making sure I didn't miss and we're voting out on the drive issue. Right.
Drive-throughs, I think, is the concern, just because of backup.
Yeah.
Considering first
Yeah.
scooters, for an example.
Yeah, you hate to name names, but there is quite a backup, and there's certainly more than 3 people in line. And I just think that that's my only concern. I actually love the idea that we've created this area that is gonna be, you know, hospitable to other businesses in the neighborhood. I love that idea. But I do worry about the traffic patterns. That's my #1 concern. And I just think it could be very, very difficult at the typical time you go get coffee. It's the typical time you're gonna drop your kids off. Especially for that group that is dropping their kids off, you know, kind of thing. I think it overlaps. So I think it's a great idea. I just don't know how it would work. I don't feel comfortable voting purely on the traffic, that we don't know enough about how the traffic study would go. So that's where I'm at.
Maybe have no coffee between 6 and 7.
Or 7:30 and 8:15 or something like that to get the kids dropped off.
9 months out of the year.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. Okay. Any other discussions? Roll call, please.
Schill,
Yes.
Greenway,
Yes.
Crandall,
Abstain.
Sarda.
Yes. Motion Carries. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so does it have to be on the one that you would, that it doesn't have to be on the drive? Would you accept to say drop in, no, where you could park in there and stop and go in? Would that be, you would sign that one if I brought that one back, would that, or in other words?
We just approved that. We just approved that we would approve those kind of businesses. We just will not, we aren't approving any drive-through.
Okay,
That's the only thing that we're excluding. But yes, we
Good.
just approved that we would be
okay,
open to that and be open
Yeah.
to that zoning change.
okay. Do we have to do anything with paperwork on that, Dr. Kendall, right there, what you see? Probably just get a copy of what happened?
Yes, Shereen will have a copy of the motion and the action if that's.
Okay, that's about good.
Yep, that's what you'll need.
I'll send that to
Yep.
you. I'll send that to you once I have it done tomorrow.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All for reading.
Okay, moving on to number 9, our policies. We're doing a second reading on our virtual learning policy first. Does anybody have any questions about that? Or Sheila's going to give us a little update.
Oh, no, I'm just here if you have questions, I don't need to update. I'm happy to update if you.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were moving in for an update. Okay,
No, I'm moving
is there
in to
any
answer
questions that Sheila could answer for us about our virtual learning policy? Okay, hearing none, this is an action item. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Crandall,
Yes.
Greenway,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Sarda.
Yes. Okay, moving on to B, dangerous weapon policy. Again, this is our second reading, and it is an action item. Is there any questions that we have for our in-house counsel here, or our counsel?
It just feels like I'm at house.
It does some days, doesn't it? Isn't that the truth? Okay, and hearing no questions, again, it's an action item, and I'll entertain a motion.
I move the dangerous weapon policies.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Crandall,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Greenway,
Yes.
Sarda.
Yes. Okay, moving on. Thank you for coming. Okay, we have number 10, our school district budget. And A is adopting. Okay, so it's just adopting the 2024-25 school district budget.
Yes, as you see, it's, on May 13th, we went through the preliminary budget. July 8th, we went through the budget hearing. Today is adopting the budget. I've attached the fees of finance and our budget, if anybody has any questions. It's the same thing we visited the last three times, we'll do the third time just to adopt it.
Okay, so we've given ample opportunity for people to review the budget, come forward, and
Yep.
as you see, no one is coming forward, but, okay. All right, if anyone, does anybody have any questions for Shereen? Hearing none, this is an action item, so I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second, any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Crandall,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Greenway,
Yes.
Sarda.
Yes. Okay. Item number 11 is our tax levy request.
Again, this is, every time in September, we, get our valuations from the county and the state. And this is taking the max, what they recommend and what we're allowed to take. It's also listing our, opt-out, taking the full opt-out for the next school year. And if you guys have any questions. Capital outlay though, on here, I'll make a note on the capital outlay. It is a preliminary because they do not get a final from the county until end of this month, beginning of next month. So I'll either be able to present the exact number on our October or November board meeting like we have in the past. We just don't have that number from the state yet.
Okay. All right, is there any questions about this tax levy request? It's pretty straightforward. Okay, it is an action item. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion that you need the whole thing read verbatim? All right, then we'll just go ahead. I'll make the action item as presented for the tax levy request.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Greenway,
Yes.
Crandall,
Yes.
Shield,
Yes.
Sarda.
Yes. Okay, moving on to item 12. There's 3 items under here on our group health insurance plan. And the first one is considering active employee monthly health insurance premium renewal rates for the traditional and high deductible plans.
Yes, we have met, we have a committee that meets with our company Hub, who we have our self-insurance through and who we go through. And we did we analyzed and we met as a group, and the recommendation is a 15% increase to the premiums for staff. This has been, for last 3 years, we haven't had any increase. And so 15% is what we analyzed and felt like was the appropriate amount to go to, so we weren't going in the negative. We were able to meet our demanded bills and able to meet the claims that we were presented with. Is there any questions with that?
No, we also met with a teacher group.
A teacher group that talks to them
about insurance rates and
Yep.
and went over with them and discussed it at length. Okay, this is an action item. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Crandall,
Yes.
Greenway,
Yes.
Shield,
Yes.
Sarda.
Yes. Okay, subject number B is considered retiree and COBRA monthly health insurance premium renewal rates for the traditional and high deductible plans. So this is the separate for the retirees and our COBRA plans.
Yes, and the same meetings that we have and we talk about this also. And we analyze where our retiree rates are, and we're meeting the needs for the people that are on our plan with our current rates. So the recommendation would be a 0% increase to that, because the rates are already meeting what we are needing to, charge for those deductibles or the rates, the premiums. If you take a look at further down, the COBRA is a 3.5% increase. That is to keep up with where we need to be with the COBRA. So those are my, after going with Hub and meeting with you guys in our committee, that's the recommendations for these 2 areas, for retirees and COBRA.
Okay, are there any questions? Hearing none, this is an action item. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Greenway,
Yes.
Shield,
Yes.
Crandall,
Yes.
Sarda.
Yes. I guess I'll just make one comment here, and that is, one of the things I've been very pleased with on the board is if we can manage without any increases, we don't do increases. And so I hate to see any increase, but if you look at the history, you'll see there's been very, very little increases. And kind of from all accounts, it's a pretty phenomenal plan in comparison to a lot of the other employers. But again, I'm proud that we're able to do it, and I'm proud that when we don't have to, we don't. Okay, moving on to C, specific stop loss reinsurance and third-party administrative service fee renewal.
This is just the third part of our meetings that we have. We go over the costs and the increases, and this is just a recommendation with who we're going through with Walmart, their increase, and just accepting and approving their increases that they presented to us.
Okay, is there any questions for this? Hearing none. Action item, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve group health insurance plan increase through Walmart.
Is that C?
Yes.
See.
A second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Shill,
Yes.
Greenway,
Yes.
Crandall,
Yes.
Sarda.
Yes. Our final item is adjournment.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign.